All right, number 2. We got it. We're good. We're back. Kitchen Table Sports Podcast. You know what it is. I'm Will. Sitting next to me is Dad, and we're joined in studio live today by our special guest, Grant. Say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people? Hello.
What's up to the people? If you were one of the
Hey, Grant, welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
you.
If you were one of the 30 people who listened to our last episode, you know about Grant. Grant's my one friend from Prague that cared about the hockey news that I shared with you. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't important. So I'm glad we have that to talk about. We got a lot to talk about today. Going to talk about some NFL. Going to talk some MLB. Get some baseball action. Going to talk about a few other off-brand sports like we did last time. So this one is going to be another football-heavy one. There's a lot of football news. We'll be gone for 2 weeks. That's why there's no episode last week. I was not feeling well. Seeing as I'm half the host team and all of the production team, it kind of makes it difficult to, when I'm absent, to produce the show. Just before we get into some more of the baseline stuff,
What are you seeing for headlines that are sparking your interest there,
Why not?
son?
That's what I was just getting into that. Hi, Doug. We're actually at the kitchen table now because it is the Kitchen Table Sports Podcast. So we're also joined by my dog,
Penny.
coming over to harass us. Really quick, before we get into the normal 4 or 3, because we're not going to talk about the NBA anymore. Maria Sharapova, this is just breaking now to us. It's 5:53 Eastern time on a Sunday. Maria Sharapova has just withdrawn from the U.S. Open, so that is clearing the way for Serena to look to become the first women's tennis player to complete the Grand Slam of tennis since Steffi Graf.
Oh, that would be awesome. I mean, Steffi Graf was an amazing player. I know she was born before you lived.
Yes,
but,
Yes.
She played tennis before we were thought of.
But she was amazing. She, Martina Navratilova, you know who I'm talking about.
No, we don't. Maria Sharapova
was like was like good. I mean, in the Billie Jean King era, but Steffi Graf was outside of the grunter, the French grunter. There, whose name I forget. Steffi Graf was amazing.
Yep.
And Serena, if she's human, all the best to her. She deserves probably to do it. If she's not human, then it'll be the first robot winning
That's very
the
true.
Grand Slam.
If you address the dog, also, we can't hear you. So
I'm trying to get the eye goop out of the dog.
You really are. She's a goopy dog. The only other piece of non-Big Four to talk about is that Brian Harmon today carded 2 aces.
No kidding.
On the 3rd round of the Barclays, he becomes the 3rd player in PGA Tour history to drop 2 holes.
I heard an amazing thing. I don't know if did you catch this during the week? The out at the Greenbrier, there's an insurance company is suing the Greenbrier Resort because the Greenbrier bought hole-in-one insurance for their golf tournament, and a dude, actually 2 separate people, got holes-in-ones. And the deal was, if you got a hole-in-one, the guy got some money, his charity got some money, and everybody in the crowd got like $200.
Good deal.
Then if in the same hole, if there was another hole-in-one,
everything got doubled.
Everything went. Yeah, the crowd got like $500. So
wow.
There were 2 holes-in-one.
Oh my God!
And the sponsor was walking around, whatever green it was, handing out money, handing out bills to all the people hanging out.
That's sick.
And that was pretty awesome. And then the insurance company said the hole wasn't long enough. There's a clause in the contract that
So
it
now
had
they're
to
suing.
be at least 175 yards or something. And now they're suing.
That's not good. That's a mess up. All right, so we got that.
So anyways,
that's good. Good to share with that. You said you had some stuff, but there's hair everywhere now. Petted the dog. That's what I get. Just to talk about some quick stuff. Let's see, where we're gonna go first. Pick a sport first. We going hockey? We going football?
Well, I was going to talk. Up until a little while ago, I thought the Mets were human again. Finally.
All right. Well, then we'll talk baseball, and then we'll talk. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about the Mets pitching? We also want to talk about the current collapse of the Nationals and what has gone on.
Dope.
Yeah, your Nationals. What has gone on in the NL East as of late? Talk some baseball here. For the last 2 weeks, a lot of stuff that's gone on, so we probably actually won't get everything that's happened between our episodes, but we'll just talk some basic stuff. As of right now, 556, Sunday the 30th. Encarnacion has just extended his hitting streak to 25 games. Hit a home run in the first inning. They are going on. The Yankees also.
The Yankees have put up 20.
Yep. The Yankees.
They put up 20 on Atlanta.
The Yankees, that's the second time this year that they've dropped 20 runs. Grant is looking befuddled. Grant, you don't know anything about baseball, do you?
It sounds like a new Sherman through Georgia. I don't know.
The Red Sox have a final also for the day. David Ortiz has hit his 494th career home run. He's looking for 500 this year. Looks like he's going to get it. Here's an interesting stat.
But Toronto's still at the head of the East. So Toronto's still got a game and a half on the Yanks.
You are correct. They are 18 games over 500. Here's another interesting stat about Toronto. Today in Toronto, the fastest-paced pitcher in the league, Mark Burleigh, at a very statistical 15.8 seconds between pitches, will face the third slowest-paced pitcher, Alfredo Simon, 24.9 seconds. There's an Elias Sports Brew stat for you.
Wow.
Something completely meaningless. Classic baseball.
So let me ask you this.
What's
So
up?
what team is the furthest out of the lead in their pennant race?
We'll get to that in a second.
You mean the team I will inevitably, hop on the bandwagon?
I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
say you'll see.
It's probably the Brewers. I'm not. Let me,
Oh, no.
No,
Oh,
you don't
no.
think? Are you looking at it?
I am looking at it.
What are you looking at?
Cincinnati, 30 games out.
Ooh.
30 games out.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty sick.
That is a lot
That's
of
my
games.
team right there.
I was going to say,
As
that's a
of
team
right
to go to
now,
the bank on.
That's my team.
And then there's several 20 out. The Rockies are 20 out. Miami is 20 and a half. Philly's 20 and a half. Philly is not in last place.
That's
and,
amazing.
Detroit, the bomb of the year, except maybe the Nats.
The dog is chasing her
20
tail.
out.
We're sorry. We're sorry for that racket. In broadcasting news, Nesson and the Red Sox have still refused. Oh my God, the dog is going crazy.
There is an update. The dog has caught the tail.
The dog has caught her tail.
And a remarkable comeback.
And new sports news. In broadcasting news, Nesson and the Red Sox have still refused to provide a reason for the firing of Don Orsillo at the end of the year. Don Orsillo is presumably still very upset about it. And Vin Scully is returning to call Dodgers games in 2016, which means that
That's pretty
Vin
cool.
Scully, no lie, has
yeah.
called Dodgers games for exactly half of the team's existence.
Oh, yeah. He called the end of the Brontosaurus age.
Oh my God, no kidding. It's amazing. He's been around. I mean, he's a baseball fixture.
He's old. In fact, he's older than Martina Navratilova.
You can't even say that. The Cubs have acquired Fernando Rodney from the Mariners.
Oh, you know who was? The Mets were going
The
to make
Mets have
another
acquired
trade.
pitcher Addison Reed for 2 minor league players from the Diamondbacks.
What a name.
I'll tell you what. We're boring Grant to death here. We better get off of this.
The
No,
dog
no,
is still
no,
chasing
no,
her
no.
tail.
The dog
I'm
has
enjoying
got
the
tail.
names thoroughly.
Kurt Schilling has been
So-
removed from ESPN Sunday Night Baseball in another piece of
Yeah.
broadcast news.
Yeah, his shoes were bloody. They wouldn't let him walk across the stage.
Jose Bautista has completely stopped talking to Sportsnet. He's refusing to talk to Canadian media.
Uh-oh.
My mother has just walked in the door. Hello, Mother. Hello. We're in the house. And that's really
Yeah, that's about it. I was
Everything-
just gonna comment. Harvey and DeGrom pitched, and then Syndergaard pitched today for
Okay.
the Mets. And I went to go look because Syndergaard is he's probably the ace of the club. But Harvey threw 6 shutout innings, even though he lost on that was Saturday night, or actually Friday night. And then DeGrom is throwing at home, under 200. He's averaging 10 Ks per 9 innings against 2 walks. His whip is under 1. He's sick. He's getting 6.5 Ks for every base on balls he's given up. No wonder. And against righties, the numbers are about 2/3 of that.
Grant's eyes just got really big. He doesn't know what he's appreciating. He's just
So-
like, yeah, that's really good.
I
No idea.
Yep.
There's no way that the Nats are catching the Mets. No way.
All right.
They could beat the Mets 6 times. They're still not going to catch
We're
them.
going to talk about that a little bit later on. Moving on a little bit, so we can get Grant doesn't totally glaze over. Moving on to the ice, the KHL has started their season for the year. So if you want to watch Russian hockey,
Yeah, I'm going to check out for a second while you guys talk Russian hockey, all right?
all right.
Morozhnaya.
Exactly.
That's that's Russian for ice cream for
Yes.
all those
Or
listening.
Nastrovia.
I can't translate.
Nice driveway,
exactly.
which is also American for Nastrovia.
Yeah, exactly. I can't translate Bliad. My mom will yell at me. Another news, Ilya Kovalchuk has been injured with a lower body injury. Ilya Kovalchuk is going to miss 3 months.
Ilya Kovalchuk. What team's he playing for now?
I don't know because this article is in Russian.
Oh,
and I cannot read Cyrillic.
You better work on that a bit.
Yep, it's definitely in Cyrillic. Can't read it.
That's unfortunate.
Not even in English. A local fan is trying to recruit Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion, and Luke Donaldson from the Blue Jays to convert sports and play for my Toronto Maple Leafs.
I doubt that could make them any worse.
So the Maple Leafs could use Bautista's and Encarnacion's power bat. I'm looking at a picture. The guy hung a sign out out there in the outfield in Toronto. Jose, Edwin, and Josh, what are you doing this winter? That'd be pretty good. And in other news, a fan delivered In-N-Out Burger to Tyler Seguin, who asked on Twitter for someone to bring him In-N-Out Burger. Why, I don't know.
Did you see the highlight?
Is this hockey related?
Totally.
It better be.
The soccer highlight where the dude in the stands threw the burger at the goalie, and the goalie picked it up and ate it off the ground. Did you see
Andrew
this?
Hammond in the playoffs last year.
Oh, what am I gonna say? Hey, I just wanted to make I just made a little beer run here I want to make a plug for Red Hook's ESB, which is my personal favorite.
Shout out to Red Hook.
And I do have this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beer room. Wow, that's incredible. Oh, man, this is the happiest day of my life.
So that's one of those talking bottle openers.
Actually, it's Grant.
Grant made that noise. In a little bit of somber news, Canadians legend Henry Richard is suffering from Alzheimer's. This is just reported from Yahoo.com.
Richard? Ooh.
Nice old dude.
Yeah,
Cody Franson.
He was very fast.
Cody Franson
has
been offered... No, Dad. Stop offending people. We talked about this after the last time. Cody Franson has been offered a 2-year deal by the Buffalo Sabres. He would be, I guess, wise to take that. Al Arbor has passed.
That's why it's Will and the dad.
Yeah, I know, really. Al Arbor has passed away at the age of 82.
Oh, he was good.
Islanders legend.
Islanders legend. 5 cups.
Yeah. Curtis Glencross is bemoaning his contract extension. Is telling people, do not take a hometown discount. You want to stay in Calgary, presumably. So that's...
Well, come on.
As much as any rational person would want to stay in some place like Calgary.
I tell you what.
Curtis Glencross pretty good.
He's awesome. And if he's getting a hometown discount, he should get the best trailer in Calgary.
Dad, no. Old news, Phil Kessel's already been announced that he will be, it's been announced that Phil Kessel will be starting on the line with Crosby and Malkin in Pittsburgh. That is scary.
Oh,
my anyone God. That plays the Penguins.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can you face Phil Kessel, Sidney Crosby, and Malkin?
Can you stand their mouths?
A fan, are you kidding me?
And what about
Phil Kessel doesn't talk to anybody. He refuses to talk to the media. Phil Kessel doesn't say anything.
Yeah, but on the ice, he's a mouthy.
No, he's not.
And what about the flops? Will all 3 of them flop at the same time?
Kessel doesn't flop.
Will they outdo?
No, what Kessel does is after the play is over, Kessel's going to go after all of your agitators and slash them. 2-hand style, like he did last year. What was that, Brand Marchand? It is to try to fight him, and he ran away from him, came back, and hit him like baseball style with his hockey stick. You remember that?
As his protocol.
A fan, according to Sportsnet, a local fan has told Max Talbot that he's a disgrace to Quebec. Classic French Canadian. Daniel Carcillo also pondering retirement. There are several Maple Leafs rumors that I don't particularly want to talk about.
That's enough hockey.
Because they're all probably very unfortunate.
And Dad doesn't want to talk about hockey because it's August. Moving on to the NFL. Now, Grant, before we get into this, Grant, Dad and I are not journalists. We have no connections in sports media.
None.
You are the closest thing we have to an NFL insider.
Yeah.
Because of your freakish knowledge of NFL rosters and who's like...
That is terrifying. You've put in too much power in my hands.
You've put too much power in my hands. All right, so we're going to run through. There have been, in the 2 weeks we've been gone, there have been a whole lot of injuries. We're not going to get to them all. I'm sorry. I did not...
We might get to them if we do what I'm suggesting.
I know. We'll do a bunch of them. So the other thing that we said before Dad and I started the show, we decided, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the show on no prep. Both of us secretly prepped just in case, but we only did about an hour, so we're really disorganized. This is really interesting.
I did about -2 hours.
Yeah, you
of prep,
just
so
showed
it all
you,
evens out.
You actually walked.
I'm sitting next to Grant, and actually my prep is going away.
Yeah,
we're seeking
it's going into
there's
Grant's
a cosmic balance, so we get to neutral between us.
According to Adam Schefter, the Rams' Trey Mason strained his hamstring last night. He will miss the team's final preseason game and is questionable to start Week 1. With Todd Gurley also unlikely to play the opener, who's going to run the ball in St. Louis? Nobody knows. Wide receiver Randall Cobb for our Green Bay Packers. That's the other thing. All three of us have in common. We're all diehard Packers fans. Randall Cobb does have an AC joint sprain. It is minor. No word on Week 1. Could be worse. But I would be surprised if he played the opener as well. So I wonder what the Packers are going to do. Receiver, we can talk about that in a minute. Rex Ryan's still torn between Matt Castle and Tyrod Taylor. Jay Gruden on Pro Football Talk, quote, people want to make it out that we're incompetent based on what's going on in Washington. I would agree. They're incompetent. Also, according to Adam Schefter, Redskins coaches want to move on from Robert Griffin III. They have officially given up. It's out in public.
You know, I heard
Redskins,
that Donald Trump actually wants to try out for the Redskins. As a Washington insider, he thinks he could get that because the competition for the number 3 spot is so fierce.
It's so fierce.
All he does is tell the truth. He can't go wrong with Trump.
In all seriousness,
I wish I had that bumper sticker.
Exactly. In all seriousness, the Redskins have attempted to make several trade offers to teams. They are actively shopping Robert Griffin. Teams are currently not interested.
Is that right?
Daniel Snyder and the rest of the ownership is very against getting rid of him. We will see this. This is going to go on all season. It's very clear.
Oh my God! This could be Hoyer.
The coach
Hoyer is coming back.
No.
Oh boy.
Washington.
No.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The coaching,
Hoyer
the coaching and the ownership. Daniel Snyder, they are at odds. This is going to continue on. I'm sure we'll be talking about this in the coming weeks.
Chip Kelly.
Chip
Sorry
Kelly.
about that.
With his
Chip
17
Kelly
quarterbacks.
Is lining up the next best quarterback trade from Philly to Washington. Something that'll outdo the Donovan McNabb trade.
How could you outdo the Donovan McNabb trade? Turn your head.
How could you could trade Washington Tyrod Taylor?
Well, I mean, Tyrod Taylor also, he started in Baltimore. He's from Virginia Tech, so he's local to the area. I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of Hoyer the Destroyer,
are we done with headlines here?
No.
Well,
we're
do
talking
a couple more
NFL.
headlines, and let's get on to
you
the rest
mentioned
of the story.
I just want to point out briefly.
Okay, because I'm burning through this beer.
I know you are. Deal with it. You mentioned Brian Hoyer. Last time we talked about the 10 worst quarterbacks in the league, as according to SI.com. We took our picks who would be the best. My pick, Brian Hoyer, the day after we recorded the podcast, it was announced he took the starting job.
Kudos to you.
So he's got a starting job. He will be out of the top 10 by the end of the year.
No.
I'm telling you, it is the best.
You're
pick.
welcome, Brian Hoyer.
I am on the Hoyer bandwagon.
Kudos to you. And who did I pick? Do you recall? Who did I say who was going to come through?
I don't actually. 'Cause I
Johnny
haven't listened to it.
Manziel.
RG3. And
No, he's going to get traded to be something
RG3
bad.
Come
RG3.
on.
Check this out. RG3 is going to get traded to Cleveland.
Oh no! Poor Cleveland.
And your friend Jason,
Jacob,
yes,
the Cleveland fan.
him too, and the entire family is going to cheer as RG3 turns the corner
Oh my God.
and becomes the best comeback player of the year. He actually wins NFL Comeback Player of the Year award.
I can't stomach
Straight
this.
up trade Josh Gordon, RG3. I'm putting it out there as an offer from both teams. Go ahead and
There you go.
have some fun with that.
In additional Packer news injuries, defensive back Micah Hyde left the field on a cart. He's got an ankle. He, I think, is doubtful for Week 1. Additionally, Brian Balaga with an injury. No surprise there. Balaga's been hurt.
That's
That's what happens when you take
our team is falling apart.
When you take a whale out of water and put him in a jersey
I think the
onto a
best part
field.
is so I'm in my personal life I am subscribed. I'm like Grant and I both avid Reddit users. Grant is not, but I am subscribed to the Green Bay Packers subreddit. After Balaga signed his contract extension, for the longest time, the sidebar picture on the subreddit was a picture of Brian Balaga with a beluga whale's head photoshopped in on top of him.
So
It was
a legitimate photograph of Brian Beluga.
That's right.
A
A personal close-up. His resume photo.
In division news, the Chicago Bears are releasing veteran cornerback Tim Jennings. Also, the Jets have cut wide receiver T.J. Graham and offensive tackle James Brewer. Andy Dalton has a neck injury after a QB sneak. And
Classic Cincinnati.
We're done here.
Steve Smith got thrown out of the Redskins and
so
Ravens
done here.
preseason game after some rookie
Do you have like any good headlines?
power bombed
You know,
some receiver. I saw the highlight. I didn't see who it was. You saw the play. You've seen
Yeah.
the play. You saw the play as well. You were sitting there watching with me.
Tiger. Let's talk golf. Tiger.
No, we're not talking about golf. No one cares.
well, wasn't Tim Jennings? Didn't he like tie in the top 3 in the league in interceptions a few years ago?
I
Tim
believe
Jennings
so.
won the decathlon in 1982 at Beijing. Tim Jennings. Nobody knows who Tim Jennings is. Come on.
Tim Jennings has been around for a long time. All right, what do you want to talk about? You're getting really antsy over there. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk. Do you have a feature story you want to talk about, or do you?
I don't have a story.
Well,
I have a discussion.
We'll go ahead because we've talked 8,000 miles of NFL. Let's go ahead. I got a suggestion
Finish the NFL.
for you. Yeah, let's finish the NFL.
Let's finish the NFL.
I wanted to pick up an Aaron Rodgers comment the other day, which Aaron, he's so polite, but essentially he said the preseason sucks. He says it's the stupidest thing.
As did Adrian Peterson.
And well, there you go.
And Adrian's
exactly.
even classier than
Adrian. Boy, that's a rival team we're talking about there. But
Arian Peterson.
yeah. Adrian Peterson, who has not played a preseason snap since I believe 2009 or 2011, some long time, is like, get rid of the preseason.
But fans are paying 3 figures to go see these games. It's
well, they're
sick.
stupid.
They are stupid.
They're
but
stupid.
when
Which
they
is
get
funny
locked
because
in,
we've just been invited to a Redskins preseason game this week, and we're gonna go.
and we're going because of the free food.
Free tickets.
Who are they playing this week?
Jacksonville.
Hot ticket.
Oh, man.
Redskins at Jaguars. Redskins at Jaguars second stringers because it's the 4th week of the preseason, so no one's gonna be
So
in.
here's what I suggest.
This is gonna be bad.
Son. I thought
Dad.
that we would, unlike because we like to see
How many beers?
because we like to see uniforms run around like electric football.
Okay.
And to help the inevitable knuckleheads who are getting ready to draft for their fantasy leagues, I thought
Us.
we could have. Yes,
God.
it is the 3 of us.
Yeah, all 3 of us, really.
I thought we could do an all-injured 2015 preseason team.
I'm ready.
So
Hold on.
everybody who has been the only eligible players are players who have been injured in the preseason.
All right, I'll pull
All
up
right,
the
are you
NFL
good?
injury list.
So check out. I'll just read you a few, and then you can throw in your choices. Because some of my
This is organized by team. Oh my God, we have a huge draft pool to pick from.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
So my quarterback, and there's so many guys that you can do an AFC and an NFC team, and you don't have to go to Hawaii to do this. You can actually do
You can do this in the
right
comfort of your living room.
right here at our kitchen table.
I'm looking at quarterbacks.
So my quarterback is RG3
Your quarterback is RG3. That's a fair choice. I'm gonna
with concussion.
I'm going to go ahead and draft the recently injured Andy Dalton. He's got a neck injury.
Andy Dalton's a AFC quarterback, but that's
Oh,
not a
come
bad
on.
choice.
Andy Dalton's like
He's also not-
oatmeal.
He's also not that injured.
RG3 is the most explosive, exciting quarterback.
The most explosive,
Thank you
exciting
very much.
quarterback
And-
in this draft pool.
And the most valuable trade opportunity for Cleveland for Josh Gordon.
That's very true.
So
Who else is in the draft
listen
pool
to this.
for quarterbacks?
NFC. That's
Feedback. Whoops.
wide receiver NFC.
Okay.
There's so many choices. I don't even know where to begin.
I'm still looking at quarterbacks.
Jordy Nelson,
Yep.
Michael Floyd,
Okay.
Deshaun Jackson,
Okay.
Kevin White.
That's a stacked line
Kevin
right there.
White,
Is that a
Kelvin
studly
Benjamin, and
list?
Jordy. Yeah.
I mean, that's not even everyone that's hurt. Those are your picks.
2 of those guys are out for the season.
Yeah.
White and
You could.
Jordy.
You could also not AFC NFC notwithstanding. You could also have Terrell Pryor.
If
You
I'm
could
going
have Dwayne Bowe
on the AFC side,
Ooh.
with a hamstring. He's gonna play.
Well,
but he's got a
Brashad
hamstring.
Perryman is out.
You can have Dez.
Rashad Perriman for the Ravens?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
you could have
Des
I
Bryant.
drafted him on my fantasy team. That is quite
Yeah, you've already done some
unfortunate.
drafts.
And
Yep.
and And actually, seeing as if you wanted, did you want to get back to quarterbacks, or do you want to just stick with the NFC?
I'm just looking at everything.
Okay,
And Geno Smith is injured too.
Well, Geno, I was just going there. Geno Smith, of course, has a little issue with a jaw. He has, how
we
you
talked
say,
about that last time.
He's got you say a guy's got a knee or a guy's got an ankle. Geno Smith has a face.
He doesn't have a jaw, more accurately.
That's why you shouldn't try to headbutt
There's
people's
a lot of
fists.
injured players.
So okay,
You got Sam Bradford.
So running back, my NFC running
Not
backs.
quite yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, really, that's a little early. For my NFC running backs,
Rivers.
I got C.J. Spiller and Silas Red.
Okay.
Okay, and Joyke Bell.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm on Joyke Bell.
Yeah, he was a hot fantasy choice last year.
You also have Trey Mason now.
But looks like
Stephon Ridley.
And Stephon Ridley. Is he still playing for New England?
Nope,
I don't
Jets.
Well, if you're on the other side of the line in the evil country here, I'm going to go LaShawn McCoy.
Yo.
He's got a hammy.
And you know who else is
Fred
hurt?
Jackson.
Ironically, now that you mentioned, so we were talking last time about. I just want to quick segue the McCoy trade and how you do not like it. You do not like.
I did not
the
like
Kiko
the trade.
Alonso for LaShawn McCoy trade.
No.
Ironically, LaShawn McCoy and Kiko Alonso both injured in the preseason.
Yeah.
Yet Kiko Alonso is a far superior player.
You really like the trade, Grant.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of the trade.
Kiko Alonso,
Well-
if he shows half of what he did his freshman year in the league, it'll be more than worth it for the Eagles.
Well,
Kiko Alonso, by the way, has a leg injury and missed the Packers game.
You might remember the Clinton Portis trade. So Washington.
What did he get traded for? I don't remember.
Clinton. He got traded.
Champ Bailey.
Oh, hi, dog.
For-
Oh, God.
for an
Champ Bailey.
Lay down,
Clinton.
lay down.
Grant's right. Yeah, he got traded for Champ Bailey, and I think probably the jury's out. Even though both players have finished their careers, Denver was in that production mode where they turned out a 6th-round draft runner as a 1,500, 1,200-yard runner every year for a while. But Champ Bailey was all-pro for at least 6 years, maybe 8 years.
Yeah.
I remember Champ Bailey was excellent. And so, frankly, so was Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis was real good for about 3 years under Joe when Joe Gibb came back the second time.
Yeah, Clinton Portis was good for 3 years in Washington, is what you're saying.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, he was awesome in Denver, and he was good in Washington.
Him playing in Denver was before my time. But I remember Portis playing for the Redskins, and I briefly remember Champ Bailey playing for the Redskins.
I want to go back to my all.
Okay,
NFC
keep going.
teams.
Sorry.
So in tight end, I got Niles Paul and Zach Ertz,
All right.
both of whom are hurt. Niles Paul's out for the season.
That's not good.
So you got 2 starters that are hurt. And then just for a few odds and ends, I didn't do too much on the defensive side. I looked pretty much at players. But so Phil Loadhouse, the offensive tackle for Minnesota, they were so high on, is out for the season with Achilles. Junior Gillette is out for the season
Junior
with an
Gillette
ACL.
is definitely broken.
My personal favorite, Jason Pierre-Paul, who's missing about 3 fingers due to playing with fireworks. E.J. Gaines is gone for the season. He's a cornerback for St. Louis. Brandon Carr, Landon Collins, a safety for New York, has got an MCL.
Yeah, you can also have Micah Hyde now, because Micah Hyde has an X factor.
Brandon Browner for New Orleans.
Really quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that everything? Is that all we got?
Well,
you have special teams.
On the AFC, that's all I got.
Oh.
I got special teams covered.
I know. On the AFC side, there's a couple of guys I got to mention before we move on.
Okay.
We talked about the running backs, but Julius Thomas has a bad hand.
Yeah.
He got traded this year from Denver to Jacksonville.
Yep.
But
also,
go ahead.
I know you missed on the AFC side for receivers. You missed Julian Edelman.
Is he injured?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's got an ankle injury.
Don't be drafting him. That's not going to do any good. But, we had to put on the honorary list our favorite Ike Empanali.
All right.
He's got. We figure he's got a sore hand. 6 months probation for assault.
Boy, I'll tell you who else we've passed over. We've passed over Victor Cruz.
Yeah,
with a knee and a calf.
Yeah.
And you've also passed over Kyrie Robinson.
Oh man!
But they're expecting Cruz to be back in the lineup for this season.
There's no updates. We don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
Pouncey is out for Pittsburgh.
Yep, Marquise Pouncey saw that.
There's my center on the AFC team. And Schwan Schwiesham. My favorite Schwiesham Sweets.
Is he your AFC or your NFC kicker?
He's my AFC kicker for Pittsburgh.
That's good because I have I believe your NFC kicker. Hold on, wait a minute. Where'd he go? I just saw it go by. Garrett Hartley, also injured.
And you know what?
I don't know where he is now anymore. Who knows where Garrett Hartley is?
He's not with New Orleans, so I don't know where he's at.
Hold on
I thought he went to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. So we got 2 FC kickers. That doesn't work. We'll have to trade one of them.
So
he will miss the opener, by the way.
Arian Foster is
perpetually somewhat broken
right
nowadays. LaShawn McCoy and Fred Jackson.
I figured there'll be at least three kickers that get hurt this year playing golf.
Or punters released for their off-brand comments.
Grant didn't even pick up my favorite.
My
favorite linebacker is her at least for 4 weeks. Barkevius Mingo.
Oh, you are all about Barkevius Mingo, Grant.
Man.
Grant is a big fan of Barkevius Mingo.
He's got a meniscus.
So
he probably has other things too.
Yeah,
but.
and in all seriousness, you have done the all injury team. I frequently joke whenever I see goofy named dudes about doing an all names team. We should do that for next week because Barkevius Mingo is on my short list for my all names.
I will work on that
as well as Chris Banjo.
Oh, that's good. Oh, we would like to have you back as a guest. You've been an
I
outstanding
wasn't
guest
inviting myself back per se. I was saying I could contribute.
We were gonna hang out today, and I sent you a text last night. And I was like, "Do you want to come on the show?"
Will.
And Grant was like, "All right."
What is that site? What's that site with the names?
That site with the names?
Yeah, the site
Wikipedia?
with all the names. No.
Site with all the names?
The site with the awesome names, with the draft names that you showed me.
Oh, it was just like a comprehensive list of like punny names for your fantasy football team.
Yeah. Well, no. The name, all the great names and then they.
Oh, that had NFL players in them.
And they have NFL players, and then they like make up the names. What is that site?
I don't know if it's a site. I think it was just a list I found. You had last year. I gave you your name, and you changed it halfway through the year, you bastard. I never forgave you for that. I gifted you, as a Packers fan, Corn on the Cobb, C-O-B-B, Randall Cobb, and you changed it.
To something absurd. I don't even remember.
It was some garbage name.
It was very witty, but non-NFL related. So
was it? Okay, I don't remember.
I resent that comment saying.
I can't remember. What was mine? Was it? No, it wasn't halfway decent halfway. So that was 2 years ago.
No, it was. Yeah, it was.
It was. I might win.
Yeah.
No, that's not the site I'm talking about.
Grant, your dad was downstairs Dad was in the basement and didn't know what the conversation was about. Get the beer opener. It's gonna feed back into the mic. Also, you're making a mess. It's also super quiet. We can't hear it. No, get it out of here. Well, in the same vein as the NFL names list, what I looked up yesterday was a photo gallery of Jimmy Fallon's NHL superlatives, which before the Stanley Cup playoffs this year, Jimmy Fallon did that NHL superlatives list, and it came up in conversation yesterday. I was hanging out with another buddy of mine, and his favorite by far was the Logan Couture most punchable face in the league.
Man, what's up with Geno Smith?
Yeah, well, if you want to do NFL superlatives, Geno Smith, most punchable face. There you go.
We were talking about Cabbage Patch Kids, right?
Yeah, dinner. You want to talk about Cabbage Patch Kids?
Rashad Perriman, most likely to actually be a 40-year-old man. I mean, if you look at a picture of him.
Hey! Come on. This is hurting me now. All right, are we ready to move on?
I guess.
We did enough NFL.
We're all over the place. We're a mess today.
We are, yeah. I want to talk about my alternate sports.
All right. Let's talk some CPAC.
Okay, CPAC Takraw. You all remember from last week? CPAC Takraw, if I was to summarize for Grant's benefit in 30 seconds.
Grant, you know what this is.
You've probably explained it to me
I've showed it to you.
CPAC Takraw is a worldwide sport that essentially is played on a badminton court, and it involves kicking the ball or moving the ball back and forth like volleyball, except you can't use your hands.
It's Malaysian bicycle kick volleyball. You remember this?
Yeah,
Malaysian,
you've
but there you go. So I just wanted to mention that recently, we talked last week about the Super Series in Kuala Lumpur.
That is correct.
And that is still done. You remember that we talked about the MVP of the series was Pornche Kawachau.
Of course.
We talked about his salary, and made fun of it, like the makes 15.
Nice burp. Go.
So anyway, we are talking about Pornche Kawachau, the MVP from the Super Series. More recently, though, the Dragons Cup was held in Germany, and Malaysia once again showed up all of Europe, even though they only brought a university team.
All right.
And they were just awesome.
Well, I would expect Europeans to be totally garbage at that sport.
Well, I don't know.
No offense to Europe.
I did want to comment on the world rankings. So Singapore has moved up to 3rd, and the USA has moved up to 10th. They've been there for 3 years.
Yeah, how is the USA 10th at that sport?
Isn't that pretty awesome?
USA.
We're top 10, baby.
So
That's
I'm about it.
to be
But
proud of.
to advance in the world rankings, they'll have to climb over both Brunei, who's 9th, and Myanmar.
Oh, Myanmar, which you didn't think was a real country when we talked about it the other day.
Sounds like a Pokemon or something.
So anyway, that's my update on Sepak
The world of
Takraw.
Sepak Takraw.
And in hurling, in the Gaelic Athletic Association, you may be aware that the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championships are going on.
I am now.
And so that's 128th staging of the Ireland Championships. They're midway through. And of interest to me anyway, I just wanted to say that Claire beat Offaly in the preliminary round in July, which was pretty cool. 3-26 versus 0-15.
I can't spell awfully.
And the thing that's cool about that was they played at the stadium in Innis.
Okay.
Where?
Did you go there?
Yes.
On your trip to Ireland?
I was at that stadium.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
They lost after that, but anyway, Claire was the 2013 All-Ireland champions.
I know this because I watched the championship game. No lie.
No lie, really?
I'd like to backtrack just a second. I will have to say you do spell awfully.
Get out. Leave. Get out of my house.
Grad with a good one. They give me 5.
Get out. Stop it, you two. All right, is that all your hurling news?
So,
you got more. All right, good.
Well, yeah, and then more recently, Tipperary surprised Galway 3-16 versus 0-15 in the semis, which were last week. So they'll finish up next week in the All-Ireland Seniors. And the other comment was, I just thought I found, which I didn't realize, but the GAA, the Gaelic Athletic Association, does a world podcast, which they only have 4 episodes online, but they did comment that there were Asian Gaelic games. And one of the places that they got a highlight or a mention was at the Vatican, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah.
No kidding.
And there was an Italian woman sports journalist that, for some reason, talked about it. And the other thing that they talk about on that particular podcast, which is episode 4, is that hurling was played at a U.S. youth prison in Oregon.
Oh, all right.
Why?
That seems, no lie, I thought before that ball hockey in Canadian prison, that's a bad sport for prisoners to be playing, is hockey. Okay, dog. Oh, my God. The dog is all tangled up in my cables.
Come here.
You're the worst. You don't grab her like that. I think hurling is a worse sport to have prisoners play against each other. Are you kidding me?
They have sticks and balls?
They have sticks and balls, but it's a full contact sport. Ball hockey is not really a contact sport. Hurling is a full contact sport.
You're playing it wrong if it isn't full
And
contact, Will.
Yeah, you would know about ball hockey. And you brutalize each other with those sticks. I mean, that's just, you're going to have it's going to be like shankings. The Bloods and the Crips are going to be beating each other down with the Hurleys.
I think that's a game that they play, shankings, right?
Is that an English game, traditional English
I
game?
want Adam Sandler to make a movie about that. About the juvenile detention facility in
That's
Oregon.
with the hurling team.
The
It's like
hurling
the juvenile prison that plays football, and like local high schools have to send half their fans to go like root for the prison football team.
Yeah.
So did you do any? That was my transition.
Great transition there. I did do a little bit of prep.
Okay.
I have no cricket news, unfortunately. I didn't do that much prep. However, the week we were gone was Formula D round 7 at Texas. There is one more round left. That will be round 9 at Irwindale. That'll be the last championship round for the
when is that?
Formula D championship. That's going to be it's next month, I think.
That's on the road track at Irwindale?
No, it's at the Speedway.
Oh, okay.
Irwindale. By the way, Irwindale Speedway being torn down at the end of this year. This is going to be the last event that they have at Irwindale. Irwindale, the first venue to host drifting in the U.S. It's a drifting staple. It's actually very sad, but it's cool that Formula D in their last year is going to be able to go there. Dog is all up on Dad. Your Texas results: Masashi Yokoi is your winner. Ken Gucci takes second, and Chris Forsberg rounds out the podium in third place. Masashi Yokoi.
Wow. Is
Masashi-
that his first win?
Masashi Yokoi. It is his first win. It's his first. The dog. It is Masashi Yokoi is a D1 Grand Prix veteran, a longtime Japanese drifter. This is his first year in U.S. competition, so he's a Formula D rookie. He's been around in the drift scene for a long time though. This shakes up the championship because Frederick Osbo, who's still your points leader,
but he must have given up some ground, right?
He gave up a lot of ground, was knocked out in the top 16, lost to Daigo Saito. Still has a commanding lead, although Forsberg is climbing up after him.
So when was the last time Daigo Saito won? Did he win this year?
Daigo Saito, man, he's way down in the standings. Let me see here. Daigo Saito, what is his best finish this year? Where are you at, buddy?
Sorry about that.
64 points at Texas.
So he's running that huge motor, but but it's
his best finish would be it's like 6, I think. Yeah, what were you saying?
I was just saying he's running that huge motor, and he just is not getting around the track this year the way he did last year.
Well, he's got a new car this year, so he finally last year at the end of the year they finally got the SC430 dialed in.
Didn't you tell me that at 1,000 horsepower?
The SC430?
Yeah.
1,400.
1,400 horsepower. For
no discernible reason.
I'm sorry, but 1,400 horsepower, you could have taken every single Pioneer across the Donner Pass with 1,400 horsepower.
You could have. Yeah, right. So with
yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. Grant.
Exactly what I was about to say.
That's right up your alley. So this year he has a new car, an R35 GTR, which is not dialed in. It is down.
High five.
It is down on power, only making about 1,000. However, they are running it on low boost.
If you're hearing rattling in the background,
it's a dog.
It's the dog.
The team claims, Saito's team claims that on high boost this year, which they're thinking about running at Irwindale, that car will make over 1,600 wheel horsepower.
Wow.
1,600 plus.
So that's at wheel horsepower?
At the wheel.
Oh my God.
So it probably makes 1,750 at the crank.
Do you know what that does to rubber?
Yeah, it vaporizes
it does.
It atomizes it.
It does. It completely destroys rubber.
He is throwing some of the most smoke this year. What were we gonna say, Grant?
So that his car has about half the amount of horsepower that mine does.
Yes. Your Volvo has twice as much horsepower.
Volvo V70.
And Aiden's Sentra has triple that horsepower.
Yeah, our truck's not too bad. Our truck makes almost as much torque. Our Explorer. In other drifting news, the only other thing of note. Dad knocked the mic over.
Stop the clock.
Huge noise. No, I'll edit it out. It's fine. All right. In other big drifting news from the event, Dad's fussing with the mic. Vaughn Gittin Jr. had an absolutely terrible crash in top 16. You can go look it up on YouTube. There's no good footage right now, so I'm not gonna put it over top of the podcast. But if you look Vaughn Gittin Jr. Texas crash, you can see people were camming the big video board at the event. He put the car in the wall going about 90 miles an hour in a transition from a right-hand sweeper to a left-hand sweeper. Did not get the left-hand sweeper and was going head-on for a concrete wall. He had the presence of mind to grab the e-brake and send the car in back first.
That's like Earnhardt Jr.'s crash, in the wall, 2 years ago.
Yeah. So he spun the car. He, thankfully, due to the safety devices in his vehicle, the impact absorbing roll cage.
Saved the car.
Oh no! You should see pictures of it. You might be looking at pictures. You're looking at pictures right now. If you're listening to the podcast, due to safety devices, he had a full helmet, a Hans neck device, a Halo style seat that wraps around your head, and he put it in backwards. He said if I did not have a Halo style seat, I would have broken my neck and I would be paralyzed.
Wow.
The car is a complete write-off. It looks like he's going to miss the final round at Irwindale. He's not debuting his 2015 car at Irwindale, and he's sending his backup car to Japan to compete.
Maybe
over
Daigo
there.
Saito could send him his Japanese car.
Well, Saito's... Oh my God. There's so much wrong with what you just said. I don't even have time to explain. Anyways, Frederick Osbo has an 80-point lead. The only person realistically that could catch him is if Frederick Osbo got knocked out in top 32 and Ken Gushi wins the event at Irwindale. Ken Gushi could win the Formula D championship. Otherwise, it is Frederick Osbo's to lose.
All right.
So we're done here with drifting.
Wait a minute.
Quick question.
Okay.
That fellow who got in the crash, what
Von
did...
Gittin.
Von Gitt?
Von Gittin Jr., yeah.
Oh.
He's
I thought you
Swedish.
said Von
No.
Gitt Jr. And I was going to ask you,
He wrote
in
a
all
book.
seriousness, if he was related to the Breakfast of Champions.
Yeah, he wrote
right?
some books. Kurt Vonnegut and James Vonnegut. It's a whole family of
Yeah.
Vonnegut's.
God, you two are hopeless. All right, what else you got? What else you got for me over there?
I'm
you
ready
done?
for headlines. So, do you have like some more feature stuff?
I have a discussion that I want to bring up.
All right, it's good because I have half a beer still.
Okay, good. And then we could do the BSPN, and then we're out of here. Grant, you lived with me for some time this year. You were my one-time roommate. You're my longtime friend.
But you guys aren't like you know what I'm talking about.
Old dirty man. So you know kind of
They both have facial hair. Well, Hoyle doesn't anymore, but he did.
it fell out.
Yeah.
You know how I am outside of the house, and I'm
Yes.
assuming Dad assumes how I am outside of the house. You know me. I'm pretty sailor mouth when I leave. I'm pretty potty mouth when I'm out of the house.
No.
No, I hope not.
I mean,
hope not. You weren't raised that way.
I was not raised that way. You are correct. And it is an extension of my laziness. There are so many more words in the English language. I'm just that lazy.
The F word only has 23 definitions.
Yeah, I know. Something that I have noticed more recently, I've been watching a lot of sports. Professional athletes, as a rule, mess up. It happens. You don't make plays. People shut you down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get frustrated. The sheer number of people, and just in the last year alone, that I have seen in athletes in sporting events swearing on TV and caught swearing on TV and no one acknowledges it seems really high.
The guy that's crazy for that is Tiger. Tiger curses every fifth word.
He really does.
Now I'll tell you who doesn't curse: Aaron Rodgers.
That is very true.
Because, Tiger Woods no longer has the stress release that he had before, All the things went through with him beforehand, he could just,
Call
go
one of his
off
7
and-
women.
Yeah, walk into a bar and have women literally fly off the ground, hurtling
I think
at
there's a
him.
joke. Tiger walks into a bar with a frog and a squirrel, right? How does that go? That's tough to make a transition from that, isn't it?
It really is. You kind of shut me down there. I don't know. Just have you noticed that? Is that? All right. Well, they're broken.
It's beautiful.
Here's the other thing that I think. So I know this in other countries where the broadcast rules are different, and you can put swearing on non-cable TV.
Right.
It's
England.
Like England, it's acknowledged. It's not encouraged, but
you can put in England. England, you could put breasts. You can gamble on football, and you can curse.
Why don't we move? Trump's going to become president. Why don't we move? Why don't we become expatriates?
You just answered yourself, because Trump's about to be president. You want to stay in this glorious nation to watch the best president.
Watch it burn.
And then Trump, he said that he would, if he could not get the Republican nomination, he would run for Prime Minister of England.
So, if Trump becomes president, who invades us first due to comments that Trump makes?
Grenada.
Mexico? North Korea? Iran?
Well, according to Trump, Mexicans don't have the intelligence or fiscal level to invade
We're getting off
us.
topic.
So
We're really starting to piss some people off now. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there.
What else, according?
I just want to throw that out there. All right, let's move on. Speaking of swearing on TV and in front of children, let's move on to our
That's
favorite.
a good topic, though. I have to say, I would be happy to chat about that topic. Actually, that is a legitimate topic.
Oh, all right. Well, then let's not move on.
So I don't have anything to add to it, but
It's a good topic.
Well, when you think about like what gets edited on American TV all the time, like sports athletes get bleeped, and so do coaches, and football in particular.
Well.
I went, this is not like about pro athletes, but I went a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I was at a local park.
Okay.
And was watching, I think actually I was watching Pop Warner football, but it might have been a little bit older than that. And the coach was screaming at the players. And he was dropping F-bombs every third, fourth, fifth word. It was crazy.
These kids are like 8 years old, right?
Yeah, the kids were like these little kids, and they're like wilting underneath the weight.
That's how it should be. If the kids can't handle strong language, they shouldn't have been born in America.
Is this a Yugoslavian perspective?
Is this from your time in Prague?
Yugoslavia or whatever it's called.
Whatever country you were in. Whatever country that hasn't been to the moon that you lived in.
Or has a navy.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. You
Let
live,
me count
you live
the
internationally
ways.
a lot. Yeah, you've been in several countries.
I've been to several. I've only lived
in
in
3.
Canada, USA, and Czech
Prague.
Republic.
Is the dog on the couch?
No, the dog's eating electric cords over by mom's computer.
Dog's getting all up in
As
everybody's
is
cords.
protocol.
All right,
So where are we at?
BSPN. Let's do it.
Are we ready to bring it on home?
Yep.
All right, so how are we going to do this week?
So we are, of course, joined by our special guest, Grant, live in studio. I have 2 sets of BSPN headlines, 2 for you and 2 for you, although you're both free to answer each other, so you can actually really both answer all 4.
So
you've got 2 for me and Grant.
You might recall
Grant doesn't have any because
the
he didn't
way
know
we
were
do
doing
this is we have identified headlines we've seen in sports news since our last podcast
that we think is ridiculous.
that we think are somehow are.
Did I say is?
Thank you.
Yes.
My bad.
And then we've created some other headlines that we think are similar, and we're asking the other host to identify which is the real headline and which isn't, and tell a little backstory to go along with it.
All right.
So you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I will go first.
All right. I'm going to hide mine from Mr. Grant, if that's okay with you.
That's good. Being totally insensitive and trying to make light of a bad situation. All 3 of these are bad situations, but one of them is a real bad situation, so you may know the answer.
All right.
Pick the real tragic headline out of the
Grant is
fake.
playing with the phallic-shaped flower on the table, even though there are 15 flowers in the vase. The one he chose is the long, pointy one.
Why would you bring that up?
He got me.
Grant just looks befuddled.
Now sniff the rose, and
exactly.
we'll declare you the bachelor.
So pick which of these sadly tragic headlines is true, but also, to me, extremely humorous. Fan who started Manchester soccer riot sentenced to 5 years in prison. Fan who stalked K-State point guard only wanted a selfie. Or fan who fell to his death at Yankees game died booing A-Rod.
Oh, man, I know the answer to this. Do you know the answer to this? This is a sad story.
I think the true one is the third one.
It is.
You are correct.
The fan booing A-Rod, because that seems most realistic.
A fan did, in fact, fall to his death at Turner Field. However, he did die doing the Lord's work, booing A-Rod and the Yankees. The worst team in baseball.
The hated Yankees.
Oh, I know we forgot to talk about, Dad. We talk about this afterwards. We forgot to talk about the Nationals.
Thankfully.
Who cares about the Nationals?
That's right. All right. So, in flipping through the headlines from the past 2 weeks, Will, I came across this one of these 3.
Okay.
This would be for you and Grant. The NHRA supports the 2016 Kentucky Derby with Tire Slager logo wear.
With Tire Slayer logo wear. All right.
All
Getting
right.
in on the Hoonigan action.
I am. Your second choice is Hot Rods support Bowling Green baseball. And your third choice is American Pharaoh loses to Bowling Hall of Famer Earl Anthony in a charity event.
I'm going to go with the second one.
The second one, Hot Rods support Bowling Green baseball. What do you think, Grant?
I'm not going to go with it. I'm going to state that it's true. The third one.
The third one.
Now it must be true.
The third one was American Pharaoh
so.
loses to Bowling Hall of Famer Earl Anthony.
I like that one the best. That one gets my vote of confidence.
All right. So the actual headline was, in fact, Hot Rods support Bowling Green baseball.
Hot Rod Magazine?
The local minor league team, the Hot Rods in Bowling Green, Kentucky, were cheering for the Little League team that advanced to the Super Regional last week.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, excuse me.
Oh, so you also have a Little League World Series headline. Well, that's good because as do I. In this batch, tell me which one of these is true. One of them is, of course, Little League World Series related. You can tell me whether or not it's true. California goes, quote, Bush League, quote, in the Little League World Series game against Texas.
Man, was that a Sharon Stone reference?
It was not. Australia employs, quote, unfair and illegal tactics, unquote, in U20 soccer friendly, or Japan team fined after fencing championship mishap.
Oh, man.
Which of these is the real?
The Japan team.
Which of these is real?
What do you think, Grant?
They always... Again, 3-3, and now the third one again. It has to be the Japanese.
I'm going Japanese.
Just take it too far with sports. They don't know when to take the foot off the gas.
They don't. They ever since they went all like kamikaze in World War II, they have never come around.
You are incorrect. It is California goes Bush League. And Little League
this is a Sharon Stone reference.
It is not.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
The Texas.
Well,
Texas,
you know, it is an old guy thing.
Texas coach, who by the way looks like a drug addict, the dude with the dreads, was complaining that the California Little League World Series team was intentionally tripping and elbowing his players during the game. There are video clips. They were actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like rounding third, where they coming out of the dugout and like sticking their legs out?
The running through first base. They were
really.
They were the one kid kicked the first baseman's foot as he like came through the bag, and like one kid the first baseman like elbowed a runner, like leaned back and caught a kid.
Oh man, I bet you there were some big F-bombs there.
No kidding.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right. So give me another.
I'll give you another batch.
Yeah.
Which one of these is a real headline? Cristiano Ronaldo scores hat trick in Premier League game. Spanish fans celebrate by taking a siesta. Tony Parker announces new contract extension. French fans celebrate by striking. Edwin Encarnacion drops 3 home runs in Toronto. Canadian baseball fans celebrate hat trick by throwing hats onto the field.
Grant, I'm way too well read to be able to answer this.
Are you insinuating that I'm not well read?
He's insinuating that you're Canadian.
I'm sorry.
Because you live there.
Are you not well?
Can you read?
The third one.
Encarnacion, I believe, dropped 3 bombs.
He did, and he dropped another one he's already dropped one today. And they're playing right now.
I thought that was not only is he red hot, but I thought that was actually kind of cool. They threw their hats.
I did too. 2 different players were quoted as saying that was the coolest thing they'd ever seen at a baseball game.
Yeah, I think it's very cool.
I mean, it is a very Canadian thing. It's a very hockey thing to do. But I thought that was awesome. I was a big fan of that. There was some great ESPN highlights of Grant's crew running around the field picking up hats in the outfield.
In a related story, 23,000 Boston fans showed up with brooms today, but unfortunately could not throw them on the field when the Mets won.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up about my team. If you want to talk bad about my team, I'm going to start talking bad about your team.
So here's my other contribution here.
All right.
Of these headlines, which one do you believe, gentlemen, is the one that was written in the sports media this past week?
Okay.
Storm in the booth. Hannah Storm blown away in a sideline interview.
Is that it?
I'll go with the second one.
Thunder in the night. Daryl Dawkins, known as Chocolate Thunder, passes away.
Oh.
Bolt out of the blue. Usain Bolt taken down by Segway.
I know the answer. This is frustrating to me. I know the answer. Grant?
The third one.
It is the third one, because here's the next batch that I was going to read to you. Woman interrupts tennis event by running onto court with the streamers. 2 arrested after hang glider stunt interrupts Sun Valley Conference football opener. Man who ran over Usain Bolt with a Segway hand delivers apology gift.
Well, you know what, gentlemen? Although you are both correct, you are both also incorrect.
Really?
Because in total support of our belief that the NBA should get no more than 30 seconds of reference, Daryl Dawkins, Daryl Dawkins, in fact, did pass away this past week.
And that was the real headline?
He was called Chocolate Thunder, and he was known for his backboard breaking jams.
I have seen.
He actually paved the way for breakaway rims. And so, you know.
Kind of like Shaq.
Kind of like
Except,
Shaq.
you know.
Speaking of Shaq, that brings us back to our swearing thing, because Shaq has several sweary broadcast sports media quotes.
Oh, I love Shaq.
But you are...
So Usain Bolt was taken out by a cameraman.
I've seen it. It's hilarious.
After winning the 200-meter race at the World Athletics Competition in Beijing.
It was one of those handlebar-free segways. And he hit like a side rail and then totally ran over Usain Bolt, totally cut him down. And he did actually hand deliver an apology gift.
That's completely Usain, man.
Yeah, that's so Usain.
And it's, you know what? It's a good thing that you ruined that batch, because that was my 4th batch. But I have a backup 5th batch.
Yeah, but any reference to Hannah Storm is pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
One of these headlines is actually from today. I saw it literally 20 minutes before we started the podcast. Which one of these is the true headline? Durham Bulls minor leaguer caught corking bats. Ronda Rousey lashes out.
Doing what to bats?
Corking them.
Oh, okay. Just
Ronda-
checking.
Taking the cork out of them, letting them air out a bit. Breathe.
Ronda Rousey lashes out on Twitter at Floyd Mayweather again, tweeting Sesame Street quotes. or Seahawks rookie accused of attacking Phillip Rivers.
Oh, it's got to be Rousey. I love Rousey. Rousey is
the Twitter beef is real.
Boom, boom, boom. Rousey can take out everybody. Remember we talked about Rousey last week. Rousey said she could take out Mayweather as long as there weren't limits to. It wasn't a boxing match.
MMA.
It was MMA.
Oh,
that's right.
Probably she could.
She is, gender aside, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in her weight class. Period.
She's awesome, and she's got great toenails.
All right now.
I just want to throw that in.
All right now. So which one of those headlines is the real headline? You're going with Rousey.
I'm going with Rousey.
What are you going with, Grant?
I'll go with the third one.
You are correct. Seahawks rookie Frank Clark was accused of attacking Phillip Rivers during the preseason game after he fumbled the ball and there was a large pile. He crawled.
With a name like Frank Clark.
He supposedly crawled under the pile and went after Phillip Rivers.
Man, a river runs through it. I'm sure he said that.
Yep.
Grant is laughing, but he's hiding himself.
He's refusing to laugh into the mic so no one knows he thought it was funny.
He's too embarrassed. All right, are we? Is that it? Do you have any more?
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, we're at an hour, just about.
Well,
After I edit it, this will be about exactly an hour. I'm looking at an hour 3 on the record. It's not going to be quite that long. So we're going to get out of your hair. Thank you for joining us. Any final thoughts for the people?
Thank you for listening, and...
You want to shout out your Twitter?
Go Nats, go
Do
Pack.
I have a Twitter? Here, let me...
You do have a Twitter. I believe it is at _G_H_X_.
Is that right?
Here, let me hold on.
Don't follow me on Twitter, whatever you do. I don't
No,
tweet.
please follow him.
I'm not
For the
shouting out
love
my
of
Twitter
God.
handle.
We had 37 follows.
38. We had 38 views.
38 views
So
this week on YouTube. Make those numbers big. This was a much better show.
share this. Yeah, share this with your friends. This is a far more disorganized show, and we think way more entertaining. So share this with all of your friends.
Anything involving me...
It's pretty prime.
Usually
Grant's
involves more chaos.
Very
just
true.
through
Very
Grant's
true.
coming back. Next
Grant's
time we
coming back.
do this,
We're having
he's
you back on
coming
the
back.
show.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
We're having you back on
I'd
the
be
show.
more than
Yeah.
happy to accept that
And,
All right,
and
invitation.
future shows, we're going to do Toby. We're going to do
Yep.
George Washington. We're going to do everybody.
George Washington.
My other
Carver.
roommate Toby's coming in.
Yeah,
Let's
George
see.
Washington Carver,
Washington
right.
Carver.
He's more recent.
We are in Washington, so we will have Jayson Werth on the show at some
Yeah.
point. By the
And-
way, the Jayson Werth promo bobblehead, I don't know if you've seen it. It's terrifying. You should also look that up. That's my last.
No.
That's my,
The
my-
terrifying bobblehead is Anthony Rendon's.
Is Rendon's bobblehead that was messed up?
Rendon's, like, whatever you want to call it.
I think it was Jayson Werth. That's my final thought. Before we go, you're looking at a picture now of, I believe it's Jayson Werth's promotional Nationals bobblehead. He looks like he is possessed by a devil. I'll show it to Daddy in a second once we get done. I think that's all we got for you. Thanks for listening. We'll be back. We should be back next week. Like I said, share this with all your friends. Get us out there to the people. We're trying to build the listener base.
And check out Sepak Takraw.
Check out Sepak Takraw.
It's awesome.
When it comes time, check out Formula D Round 7 at Irwindale. Check out the KHL season. Shout out to Nutella. It's my favorite.
Shout out to CPAC Takraw's close relative, Krav Maga.
Krav Maga, the best martial art there is.
And all our best to Daryl Dawkins' family who passed away this past week.
Yep. As well as the fan who fell at Turner Field. That is, of course, sad news. We're out of here. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll see what madness we bring then. Take care.
Ciao.